It's Thursday 29th of June, about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's pouring rain outside and thankfully we're working inside today. Starting off with a Goshiki selection. Goshiki that were bred on the 1st and 2nd of May. So just 8.5 weeks old right now. Doing the selection for the ones which are going to go in the grow out. The 90,000 gallon grow out pond. And Scott's looking at me as though, you think any of these are going in the grow out pond?
I hope not.
And this is Maureen's plan. I think they're starting with Goshiki because if Bill and Scott did Kohaku first, then the Goshiki would have no interest whatsoever from these two.
I'm going to ask your mother for a second cup of tea.
The male parents of this spawning included one Ginrin Goshiki and one non-Ginrin Goshiki, regular Goshiki. So the offspring obviously replicate that. Ginrin Goshiki and regular Goshiki.
Wait, and just so the camera has this on record, I have no clue why that one is particularly good or bad.
Is that a is that
matters why?
It doesn't matter at all. No, I'm just stating it so we all can understand that there are things in koi that you don't see.
And that you don't need to understand.
And you don't need to understand, nor do you need to see it. It doesn't really matter.
But for the record on the camera as well, you don't feel much love for Goshiki still, do you, Scott?
I like Goshiki fine. They're okay. I like them when they're done and in a pond somewhere and they look beautiful. At this size, I have no interest in them at all.
Right.
None. Absolutely none.
And quite frankly, I agree with Scott. One of those very rare occasions where we agree.
But good Goshiki, but Bill can cull them. He actually can cull them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I remember this from out in the mud pond. Seriously, I think you had it, Bill.
I don't remember having it.
So, I think it's fair to say this is the warm-up entertainment for the Kohaku selection. So once the guys have once the guys have finished the selection, we'll take a look at the keepers and also those that are going into the majority will probably go into the didn't quite make it to the grow out pond so literally because they're Goshiki, nothing more. I think something's going to have to be very special to make it to the grow out pond with the numbers that are potentially going in there later. That's nice, Bill. Yeah, that one.
The big one?
No, the one you just moved. Ooh. So here we have very possibly the top 6 Goshiki from the selection. There's a lot more, or several more, a few more that will go in the grow out. But I think these are probably the best 6 that we have at the moment. All very similar characteristics amongst this 6. Fairly light coloured, certainly not dark as some of the Goshiki, the other Goshiki that are in there. Nice patterns, clean patterns. So yeah, share very similar characteristics. So it'll be interesting particularly to watch these 6 grow. Hopefully one of these will come very nice. Goshiki incredibly difficult, only time will tell. In terms of number one, I'm thinking this one here with little Kuchibeni lips, sort of double red head pattern. Very possibly my number one. And I got a thumbs up from Scott on the other side of the bowl. What are you thinking, Bill, in terms of your number one? Okay. So this one here at the front of the picture, Bill's number one. Which are you going for, Scott, as your number one?
It's quite beautiful, but I like it. I like them all.
Yep. So, and I have to introduce my nephew Samuel, who's here on his work experience.
Yeah.
I'll show you. So Samuel, here's your chance for stardom, fame and stardom.
Yeah.
Which is your favourite amongst these six?
I would possibly say that one there.
Okay. I think you're a wise boy. Obviously it's a genetic thing that you've chosen the same one as me. So, there we have. So 6 Goshiki, just a selection, a small selection from probably around 30 or so that maybe are going to go into the grow out pond. But we'll have a look at those later. So we have 54 Goshiki, Ginrin Goshiki, going into the grow out through until November. Here we are as we saw them before. So we'll just go in here, then we're going to go back and photograph the Kohaku and see how many of those we've got to go in. With the Goshiki complete, now Bill and Scott have moved on to Kohaku, which they find a lot more interesting. On the left hand side is my nephew Samuel, who's here on his work experience, who I introduced earlier. Samuel, come here. No, go in front of the camera. Don't be shy.
Right.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So tell us what you're thinking, or what's your thoughts of your first 4 days here at Purdin Koi Farm?
It was great. I'm really enjoying it. Getting some really good fish. Really good, and I'm really enjoying it. Having a great time.
Good. Okay, now get out of the way. So obviously, as I said before, these are the offspring of the Momotaro. We call it the Momotaro female, although she was bred here. She's from Momotaro parentage, and she was a female from here, bred with a male that also came from here, and I think a male from Sakai Fish Farm. So there's a lot of Purdin Koi Farm produced genes amongst these Kohaku here.
All the cancels.
So if you saw the video yesterday of these fish feeding in the pond, as I said, there's 1,990 Kohaku to go through. So a good number. And I suspect a seriously strict selection from Bill and Scott in terms of what goes from into the grow out pond from these fish. So none of those are the grade that will go into the grow out. few of them into the second grade selection that will be growing on a little bit further. That one there went into the grow out selection, and again. And again. Another grow out one there. That one made it into the second selection. So all those you saw thrown out originally went into the second selection. Those are rejects. Nothing made it into the main net from that set of fish. A very nice maritime sand end swinging around in the main net here. Yeah, there is the fish that Scott's just thrown into the. Let's have a look at that, Bill. Let's have a little look at that. There we go. Scott just flicked that into the net, and as you can hear, oohs and it's beautiful. So that's the sort of thing that koi breeders are all after the world over. So really, when doing this kind of selection, the really good ones stand out an absolute mile, as that one did. And then it's just a case of where you draw the lines, where you draw the borders of what you keep and what you don't keep, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And when people talk about tatakoi, it varies from breeder to breeder. One breeder's tatakoi is another breeder's junk. You know, the fish that they'll grow on at one farm is at another farm will just be sold off cheaply or thrown away. There's another one that went out into the grow out bowl. So I think the expectation before this selection started was there was going to be some special fish, and it certainly seems as though that's going to be the case. So Scott, from what you've seen so far, feelings, thoughts?
Awesome.
Awesome. Bill?
Awesome.
Awesome, there you go. That's a lovely American word, that, awesome.
These are more beautiful than the Ricky dozen.
Yeah, I think there's some really beautiful fish. You can see them. Yeah. I think you said it very early on, Scott, that when your thoughts would be that we'd see very defined patterns in these compared to the Ricky Dozan. I think that's obviously apparent,
right,
from what we can see.
And the he's prettier.
Yeah. Very strong, very defined.
Very strong, very defined. And that's kind of the quality to it that's really gorgeous. Which has to do with the white. And it's amazing how many good ones are in here.
Well, I think after we brought them in from the mud pond, we all kind of said, I think you could probably think of 50 each that would have been good enough for the grow out. So I think maybe 200's a hopeful target, optimistic target, but time will tell once you've gone through them all.
We could have 100 tonto, which is really unusual.
Okay, so we'll take a look at the keepers once Bill and Scott have finished going through them. because right now the battery light on my camcorder is flashing and needs to be charged up. So here we have the net of the keepers from the Momotaro Kohaku. Maybe not so many as we thought, Bill, but the quality is very nice, very good. There's lots of smaller ones that are being kept to grow on a little bit further before they grow out.
Yeah.
So the number will probably go up from that. But overall, what's your thoughts and feelings?
Quality is magnificent, it really is. Very, very pleased. Some good patterns as well.
Scott, your feelings?
I love them.
You'd be a bit more eloquent than that, Bill, Scott, than just I love them.
Well, you can't, how can you be?
I just think they're very elegant,
Yep.
beautiful. And the he is really beautiful. I think the Riki Dozan's a totally different kind of Kohaku, and I think that these are a totally different one, and it's going to be quite interesting watching them develop, but these are better.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, not sure exactly how many are in here at the moment. We're going to select through these, pick out a few, maybe half a dozen of the best ones, and then we'll show you those half a dozen once we've selected through these. So here we are, 5 little Kohaku that we've narrowed it down to. All have very similar qualities. Interesting, nice patterns. The little Marathon, I think everybody's universally agreed, is possibly the best. The Marathon pattern's desirable. So size of these, everybody else how big they are. I'm guessing 2 inches would be about right for these, 2 inch in size. So all these will go into the grow out pond now, and we'll see those in November when they're harvested. So we have 79 Kohaku going into the next of the 90,000 gallon ponds. Different pond to where the Goshiki went. So we've seen these obviously in the net inside.
So much better in the daylight.
Yeah. As I say, 79 of these. Incredible number of tanchos came from this spawning, from this parent, which causes some mixed reaction amongst Bill, Scott, Maureen, and personally I really hate tanchos. Some great looking Kohaku in here, as you'll have seen earlier on the video when we looked at them in close-up detail. And obviously, like the Goshiki and the other fry or the other tosai that have been released into this pond, we'll next see these in detail in November for the Purdin harvest weekend on the 4th and the 5th of November. It's a whole new big wide world out there for them. More water than they've ever swum in. There they go.